Hey everyone, Chris here with more stories in cardboard. Today I want to talk a little bit about why I collect cards. It's kind of interesting today watching some videos that people put out, and I feel this kind of disconnect, if you will. I have a hard time just kind of fathoming what some people think the hobby is, and everybody's entitled to view it in the way that they view it, but it's almost foreign to me, and I don't know, I just find it really interesting. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about why I collect, and for those that have watched my channel for a little while, you know that I believe that cards tell a story, and that's why my channel is the name that it is. I believe the cards tell a story, and the cards in a person's collection tell a story about who they are as a collector. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about this one particular card that I picked up recently and the story behind this card, and how it kind of relates to my journey as a collector. So I started collecting cards in 1980, and at one point, sometime in the early 80s, I started subscribing to the Sports Collectors Digest. And every issue of the Sports Collectors Digest, I would see an ad for this baseball address list talking about, they would try to sell it as write to your favorite players, get autographs. And I thought that would be really, really cool. And I saved up my money, $8, $9, whatever it was back then, which was a lot of money I guess I was 12 or 13 at the time. And I saved up my money, and I figured, okay, I'll try this out. I'll get it, and we'll see what happens. I did that, and I got the address list in, and the first three people that I wrote to Pete Rose, Mickey Mantle, and Ted Williams. After, I don't know, a couple of months, I had gotten nothing back, so I basically gave up, decided, okay, this was a waste of money. I'm not going to do this anymore. And interestingly enough, after about 6 months, I got Ted Williams back. And so I was super excited about that. Started writing to a bunch of different players, especially a lot of the Hall of Famers. And some of them I didn't even know who all was in the Hall of Fame at the time. But one of the people I wrote to was Carl Hubbell. And I knew absolutely nothing about Carl Hubbell other than the fact that he was in the Baseball Hall of Fame. And I wrote to him, and I politely asked for his autograph. And I also asked him what was his best memory in baseball. And he wrote a note back to me, and he said that his best memory in baseball was the 1934 All-Star Game, where he struck out 5 consecutive American League batters. And those 5 were Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Jimmy Fox, Al Simmons, and Joe Cronin. At the time, I thought, that's incredible. I mean, I knew who Babe Ruth was. I knew who Lou Gehrig and Jimmy Fox were. At the time, I didn't know who Al Simmons and Joe Cronin were, but just to know that he struck out those 5 guys all in a row, I thought was just amazing. And interestingly enough, I had put that letter, I had either taped it or pinned it up on my bedroom wall. And unfortunately, it had gotten lost somewhere over the years, and I no longer have it. But recently, I saw this particular card on eBay, and I really wanted it because it's signed by Carl Hubbell, and it's from the 1961 New Card Scoops set, and it talks about where he struck out those 5 batters. And I thought, man, that would be really cool to have that card. It really speaks to a part of my collecting history, and really tells a story about who I am as a collector. Didn't pay too much for it. It was around $50, something like that. And, 10, 20 years from now, it may be worth about the same thing, maybe even less. I don't know. But it's really special to me. I really enjoy it, and I was really happy to get it. It was one of those that if I didn't win it, I was going to be really, really disappointed. And it, like I said, it really tells a story about who I am as a collector. And I think that's important as you collect cards. They really tell a story about you. And when I first started buying vintage cards in 1981, I didn't realize that at the time. But the very first vintage card I bought was a 1959 Topps Yogi Berra. And I bought that because my mother was a Yankees fan and a big Yogi Berra fan. I had no idea at the time that, it told a story about why I collect and the reason behind the people that I collect. My next card that I bought was a 1965 Topps Hank Aaron card. And then the third card that I bought was a Mike Schmidt rookie card. All those cards kind of spoke to what I think of those players. And today is actually my mom's, it would have been her 77th birthday. She passed away 13 years ago. And she was always really, really encouraging with me collecting. My dad, at first, I think he kind of thought it was crazy, but my mom was always, she showed interest in it. She every day would bring home 2 packs of cards for me. And at Christmas time, I always got cards and pages and albums and things like that. But anyway, this is just my video to kind of talk about that and hopefully encourage some people to think outside the box a little bit. Yeah, I know cards they have some monetary value, but man, there's so much more to them when you collect to kind of have a connection to memories and things like that. So that's all I have today. Until next time, we will talk to you later.